Good afternoon. This is NBC reporting to you. It's 5 o'clock. My name is Sandy.
My name is Daniel. We are starting in the news.
The subject of today is economic crisis, the crisis of 1929 and the crisis of 2008.
The crisis began in the First World Economic Power, the United States, specifically in the New York Stock Exchange, where price from Hundi in the last day of October 2029. The crisis began in the First World Economic Power, the United States, specifically in the New York Stock Exchange, where price from Hundi in the last day of October 90 and 29. So that is the monthly low start of the value. The stock market crashes, a period of speculation to rise in the investors' loans contracted to acquire shares, confident that this raising more than the offset the interest of such appreciation. This led to over overestimation of shares, whose rise was disproportionate of benefits actually received.
After the First World War, the crisis started in the United States, but it affected all the world, mainly the Union of Europe when the economic instability. After the First World War, the crisis started in the United States, but this affected all the world, mainly the Union of Europe when they had economic stability. All started when we had an expensive demand and little bit altered, and this broke inflation. For this situation, the countries in the Union of Europe asked for a loan to the United States because they needed to cultivate the economy. Was for it that increased the debt public in the Union of Europe. But the crisis of 20 to 21 affected to the countries the different ways. In British and France decreased the production activity. In Germany, suffered hyperinflation. Italy suffered the growth of the companies, the banks, and increased the unemployment. The next graphic shows you how were affected the countries in the Union Europe.
Crisis of 2007. Population upward soil housing in the USA and Europe for the past 10 years has led to a large segment of population to get a large loans to buy a overpriced homes based on the confidence of the house always to go up in price, and they would all have jobs over the next 30 years. The bank system. When the banking system of mortgage banks in the USA to the fact of the bank system. When the bankruptcy of the mortgage bank of the USA to the fact of the liquidity defaults of the overpriced mortgage subprime course in August 2007. Balance stocks and markets of the central banks being to inject liquidity bank system. When the bankruptcy of the mortgage bank in the USA of the fact of the liquidity of sales and subprime mortgage. Subprime, of course, of 2007 fell in stocks of markets, and a central bank being inject liquidity into the financial markets. Confidence fails and a contribution of credits and consumptions, leading to a bankruptcy for a small and medium enterprises. A measure of reduction in stocks in the large enterprises course gradually increased to employment, which contributes to a higher default in mortgage segments. In the current crisis, the red line went in 2007 when the bubble burst up subpriced markets. For example, the loans of the few guarantees a type of interest extends. The securitizations of the subprime mortgage and their sales to financial institutions around the globe generates a kind of pandemic subprime the popular inter-financial system.
2008 final crisis erupted directly due to the collapse of the housing bubble in the United States in 2006, leading in 2007 to the so-called crisis of subprime mortgages. In the United States, as in many other Western countries, there was a fight of capital from both institutional investors as family towards real estate. The impact of the mortgages crisis began to manifest itself in extremely serious way in early 2008. The first to be affected was the US financial system, then the international system with the consequent deep liquid crisis and causing indirectly other phenomena economic with a global food crisis, various stocks collapses, and together an economic crisis internationally. The consequences of the crisis was protectionist measures in different countries, false governments like Latvia, Iceland, Hungary, and Czech Republic, social conflicts such as unemployment, economic downturn, closings, break industries, fall of the international trade by 9% annually, increase in tariff rates, European countries cancel their loans to emerging countries, increased poverty. Structural weakness of finance highly depend on oil prices, Mexican government, and the steady decline in the product of this resource had a budgetary impact forced to raise taxes such as value-added tax, the income tax, and introduce new taxes telecommunications. Furthermore, since 2008, the Mexican peso went into a series of depreciation against the US dollar, led him to lose about 25% of this value by 2009.
The Great Depression was a global phenomenon originated in the United States and spread around the world throughout the capital flow and commodity prices. This means that if a country has an economic crisis, it will affect the rest of the countries.
These were the news. Thank you for your attention. My name is Jorge and he's my partner.
My name is Daniel. Good night.
Good night.